All right, man. Scottie Pippen says he thinks the play in the NBA bubble is pickup basketball. There's no pressure on players. Also, I'm going to give my thoughts on this potential hypothetical trade going around that the Boston Celtics can flip Gordon Hayward because he opted into his $34, $35 million player option last year in his contract to Indiana for Victor Oladipo. And I think Indiana will have to match up that contract because I think Oladipo's owed $21 million his last year. So I guess Jeremy Lamb contract might fit there, but let's talk about what Scottie Pippen said first. And my exact premise on the bubble, even before it started. But yeah, check out the NBA Talk playlist, hit that subscribe button, bell icon button, share the video. And he says well, I'm going to be honest, I'm not it's not NBA basketball talking about the bubble. This is Scottie Pippen. It's not the hard grind. It's not the travel. It's not the fans. It's not the distractions. Really, to me, it's pickup basketball. It's going to the gym. Yeah, you already got a team. Y'all practicing together, but it's more of a pickup type of basketball game because there's no fans in the stands, so there's no distraction. There's no real noise. There's no pressure on the players. Prime example, I look at Rondo. Rondo ain't made a three-pointer his whole career, NBA career. Now all of a sudden, he in a bubble. He's probably about 50% from a shooter. I haven't even checked the stats. So Kevin Garnett went on to criticize the bubble concept in an interview with Complex. We talked about that already, saying that he believes his NBA era couldn't have played in the bubble. And we just go over this again because it's in an article at CBS. He says, to be honest, this is Kevin Garnett. Y'all, we can never play in the bubble, Garnett said. You know how much I've been screaming during your shots? Get that ish out of here. You could have heard me in here. Man, they have had a bunch of sensors. Couldn't have all these cameras, players walking around all naked, all that type. That's a different league. We were men, yo. He's saying these guys ain't even men. I agree with him. A lot of these dudes are beta males or beta boys. He said the NBA bubble certainly is not the ideal scenario to finish out the season by any means. However, the level of play has been very high and too great. Man, get that out of here. I don't know I'm going to say who the article is. It's by Chris Bangle, some white guy who looked like he ain't never dribbled a jump shot in his life. But I agree with Pippen. This ain't no real basketball. Well, people got to understand the fans and the animosity and the energy. That's why you got Duncan Robinson hitting all these shots and Tyler Hero going crazy no matter. This not no real NBA basketball. And I said it to begin with, to put the people in the bubble, ain't no intensity, ain't no playoff field. You can play 2K and they got a better playoff field than this. And the travel counts and, people don't understand how much goes on behind the walls. Especially when Scottie talk about distractions. A lot of guys go out to the club. A lot of guys go out to eat. A lot of guys be messing with women. And like I said before, the bubble don't count to me. And I said it before. And, people said, well, LeBron just hating on Pippen. Remember, he said LeBron was better than Jordan at one point. So Scottie's been very objective in his career. And he right. Ain't no pressure on them. And people who usually don't hoop like this, they thrive. You ain't never seen Jamal Murray go crazy like this in the playoffs. Or Devon Mitchell. He ain't been there that many times, neither one. It ain't no real playoff atmosphere. And it really is a pickup rec league type. And they ain't playing no defense. The refs calling every ticky-tack foul. The bubble don't count. I'm not counting this ring regardless. LeBron get it. Y'all want to say it's the greatest ring of all time? Get out of here. Ain't no travel. Ain't no grind. Ain't no fans. It's nothing. It's like eating tofu. It's like eating what they call it, vegan chicken. Anybody want to eat that bullshit? That's why you see all these vegans walking around fat. They ain't no vegans. They eat vegan popcorn and then turn around eating a pork chop. But I agree with Scottie Pippen. That's been my premise the whole time. You putting a team in a bubble, and they playing. Ain't no travel, ain't no fans. Ain't no pressure, so everybody can play loose. You know what I'm saying? The Miami Heat, if the season was the way it was, the Miami Heat wouldn't have made it. I'm going to keep it 100. The Miami Heat wouldn't have made it. All these players that's injured, all these players that somebody got kicked out the bubble and the house, and all these players that left the bubble and had to quarantine and they couldn't get in the rhythm, all these players that didn't get into the shape. Pascal Siakam and Chris Middleton said they hadn't touched a basketball since the NBA season ended in March. It was like riding the bike. Remember Patrick Beverly talked all that junk? Oh, yeah, basketball is a 24/7, 365. Who got injured? Who got injured? You think if the season never ended, he would have got injured? No. You can't just, practice and do light jogs and simulate the intensity of a basketball game. It's impossible. You have to be in hooping shape. And like I said before, Scottie Pippen, right? This bubble is horseshit. And everybody want to say if LeBron lost, everybody be saying what I'm saying. The difference is I'm consistent. I've been saying it from the beginning. But I agree with Pip. Let me know what you guys think about what Pippen said. But let's keep going on. Victor Oladipo and a Gordon Hayward trade. The only way that trade worked for me, and I think it worked. You get Gordon Hayward, good old white boy that played in Butler, back in Indiana. But my issue is Marcus Smart in last year's contract, they count on dealing Marcus Smart. Marcus Smart and Victor Oladipo are the same player. Marcus Smart just is a poor man's version offensively of Victor Oladipo. They both can defend. I think the difference between Oladipo and Smart, if Oladipo get back to form after the leg injury, the difference is Oladipo can score. Marcus Smart is starting to shoot better, but offensively, Marcus Smart ain't Oladipo. But also, Marcus Smart brings an attitude and an intangible that you can't touch. So can you see a situation with Smart and Oladipo playing? I mean, if they move Kemba Walker, I think Smart and Oladipo can be a great backcourt. I think, you don't really need a point guard because Jaylen Brown can distribute and he can handle, and so can Jason Tatum. Marcus Smart can play a little guard, and we know Oladipo can play a little point guard as well. So, I mean, if they count on rehauling that roster, I can see it working where they could trade Kemba Walker, up there in Minnesota, bring Karl-Anthony Towns, and people in my comment, well, he soft, he this, he that. I mean, let's see if he get around, organization that's tough, that they can have an influence on them, and you just looking to bring in a big fella. That's what Boston lost at. They didn't dominate the boards. And like I said before, Kemba Walker played horrible in the bubble, but I'm not going to hold anybody that plays subpar in the bubble. Not Mike Conley, not Kemba Walker. I can't have it both ways. I can't say the bubble don't count and then say, oh, you terrible, you suck. The bubble is a mental hurdle for people. People who can't see their hoes, can't see their thoughts, can't see their strippers, can't get the food they want. You know what I'm saying? Certain people got a routine. They walk around and travel the city. They might go to the movies. It's just certain things you can do, outside the bubble that you can't do in the bubble. So I can't say that Kemba Walker's trash, but if they is looking to make a move, they can move Kemba Walker and bring in a big fella. Maybe Joel Embiid. You never know. But, to be honest, I think if they planning on getting rid of Marcus Smart and not paying him, Victor Oladipo will be an upgrade offensively, and I think defensively, Marcus Smart brings more of a toughness, more of a gangster mentality than Oladipo do. But I think it's a good fit. You know what I'm saying? I do. I mean, Oladipo can score. He can slash. He can spot up and shoot. And people saying, well, he overrated. I don't think he overrated. He was like a top 4 or 5 pick. He was a blue chipper. He just landed in Orlando where they really had no real, feel for organization. Oladipo was that dude in Indiana. People forget him and Eric Gordon was supposed to be superstars in the league. But, for Indiana getting Hayward, I mean, who else they got over there in Indiana? They got Sabonis. Miles Turner probably going to be on the move. If they probably going to have to trade Jeremy Lamb if they do trade for Gordon Hayward to make the contracts match up. So I think Gordon Hayward will do fine in Indiana. You know what I'm saying? You put him in there with Brogdon. They'll do fine. Indiana got a good squad. It's just they face a lot. They got injuries. No Sabonis. That was a problem. Victor Oladipo wasn't 100%. So, yeah, I think Hayward will fit in over there. They really don't want to win, to be honest, Indiana. They really don't want to win. They just want to do enough just to get those patrons ticket money. But, yeah, I think Hayward will do right over. I think it's a playoff team. If Sabonis come back, put Sabonis, Hayward, Brogdon. That's formidable. So we'll see what happens. You got Aaron Holiday coming off the bench. You got Justin Holiday over there. They're a good team. I thought they can make a run this year. TJ Warren's still over there. So, Hayward can play the 2. Warren can play the 2 or 3. So they'll still be there. Unless Washington get it together and Chicago get it together, then that'll be a problem. If they get together, they might have some issues making the playoffs. But I think for Boston, only if you're really getting rid of Marcus Smart. Or you're looking for more offense. And Oladipo. But you got 2 guys on the wing that can score in Brown and Hayward. Brown and Jason Tatum. At this point, I think, they need to probably move Kemba. And they probably need to find him just a spot up shooter at 3-pointer. Just a Derek Fisher type point guard. And a guy that can guard his position and they can make a three. And I don't know exactly who out there at the point guard who can make that happen. But to be honest, I think I wouldn't be mad at, and people probably gonna laugh here. And depends on what he look like when he come back. I wouldn't be mad if they flip Kemba for John Wall. You know what I'm saying? I think John Wall got to change some of his ways as far as how, he is as far as not wanting to let other guys handle the rock. But I think John Wall, if he come back in form, his defense, and I know he can't shoot, and that's something he be working on, but his defense, his ability to really push the ball with them guys on the wing, and him and Oladipo probably be one of the best defensive backcourts. And the way they can push the ball up the court. John Wall, if he is the same explosive athlete and you can get him to play without the ball more, just a little bit, that'd be dangerous over there. I think, people saying, Kemba nice. But I think Wall gives you that defender at the point guard position if he was what he was before the injury. And that he's explosive. He able to get down the court. Tatum, Brown, Oladipo, and John Wall team defensively, if they can get somebody in the middle, that'll be the best defensive team in the league, bar none. Nobody have a better defensive team than them. The way those four guys defend, they all can make NBA first or second team all defense, in my opinion. But that's just my opinion on it. That'll be a brash move, but I think you have to wait till the trade deadline to see how John Wall bounce back. But let me know what you guys think. Check out our NBA Talk playlist. Don't forget we on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Reach out if you have a business question, inquiry, sponsorship, video request. Keep sharing the videos. Want to make a donation to the channel? Cash App is CJ Good 313. That's in the description. PayPal link there as well too. Best way to donate personally is to share the video. One time for the one time. It's your boy CJ Goodfellow. We gone.